Good morning, 7th grade. We're starting week 24, 5 a day. So this is your video to help you go through this. So on Monday, you're going to be choosing if in this sentence there's a dangling or misplaced modifier. Please remember that if there is a misplaced modifier, something is in the wrong spot. If there's a dangling modifier, you'll probably have to add something. So please fix that sentence. You have the 3 words serious, severe, or honest. So please make sure that you choose which one is more positive connotation, negative, and then neutral. Remember, I always started with negative when I was in class. Number 3, enthralled. Use the context to figure out what enthralled means. Illustrious. You need to look that up and find a synonym. And the word desecrate, you might want to look that up and then split it into its pieces. It's pretty easy. For Tuesday, here you need to eliminate the wordiness or the redundancy, so tighten up that sentence, which is something that good writers have to do. You need to just type the misspelled word for graffiti, hygiene, or gradual. Number 3, you should be identifying the figure of speech, and if you were working on the worksheet, you would underline it, but you could just type it out and then tell me if it's hyperbole, which is a big exaggeration, personification, which gives something human qualities that's not alive. A simile is a comparison using like or as. A metaphor is a comparison not using like or as. And the idiom is a group of words that doesn't literally mean what it says. And then once you figure out what the figure of speech is and what kind it is, then what does it mean? For number 5, don't forget you're going to label in this sentence going left to right. Is there a subject? Is there a verb? If you have both, then you would choose clause. If it is a clause, you would choose independent or dependent. Okay. And then phrase would be it only has a subject or a verb or neither. And phrases never make sense. That's it for Tuesday. For the Wednesday, you have the word rectify. So put your pieces together and then look up the definition. And then 5 words that have either the rect part or the end with fy. An impulsive person for number 3. You want to be choosing, you might want to look up what impulsive means. We all have times when we're impulsive, but 3 things. As far as commas, ooh, look, they're talking about the Constitution. Okay, you're going to be looking for 2 commas to place. And then for number 5, tedious, don't forget that that's an antonym. You need to find the antonym of tedious, but you need to know what tedious means. And lastly, for Thursday, don't forget to go back to Monday, number 1. You're choosing between serious, severe, or honest. And then you're explaining in number 2 why you've chosen, based on the other words in the sentence, that word. For the word incline, that's used in the sentence right here, they added an ed, which is fine. That's what you do with verbs. You're going to have to use, since they're all 3 verb definitions, you're going to have to use the verb that most defines the word correctly. For this sentence, I don't see any commas, so don't forget simple is, one main thought. It can have 2 subjects, 2 verbs, but it's one main thought. Compound is probably going to have a comma with an and or some kind of conjunction, and it's going to have 2 sentences on each side. Complex would be a sentence that has a subject verb, but it might have a clause added, a dependent or subordinate clause, such as because or since. And then compound complex, it probably has a comma, and it's got 2 full sentences and one of those subordinate or dependent clauses. So I think with it not having some commas, you can limit it down to 2 things. For the analogy chaos and harmony, you might need to look up what chaos means if you don't know, and then apply that to your analogy on the bottom. All right, hope that helps you with week 24. See you in class.